Hi,
Hi.
Marcus. So you decided to write a book about Nosby.
Yes, for my sins, quite a few years ago, I thought it'd be a good idea.
So can you just give us a short history how you came to actually get to know Nosby?
Well, around about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a pretty terrible review with my manager at work, and he presented me with a book, the Time Management for Dummies, and from there, that kind of led me on to start using Outlook and things. But within time, I outgrew it. Realised that Outlook wasn't the best tool I could use because I only had access to it at work. So then I started shopping around and eventually found myself at Nosby's door.
Nice. And then you started writing a blog about productivity, right?
Yeah, that was kind of me trying to explain away why I kept on swapping apps and going between Nosby and Things and OmniFocus and lots of other different tools. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. And then I remember a few years back we started talking about brainstorming the idea of having a book about Nosby, which I really liked because actually we already had the book at that moment, but in Japanese. So
Yes.
not really for mainstream user actually, who speaks English. Actually, I couldn't read it because I don't speak Japanese either. I just I just know the basics of Japanese, but
Yeah,
nothing more.
I looked at the pictures when I saw it. It's like, oh, it looks good.
Yeah, and it was a very nice book though. But then we thought about an English speaking book, but because we have on Nosby site we have help page tutorials, video tutorials, anything. But actually, a book from a perspective of a Nosby user brings value because it doesn't come from our marketing department. It comes from
Mhm.
actually experienced Nosby user, right?
Yes, yeah. My the way I've used Nosby has grown over the years. It changes every year or so as my life changes, which is one of the good things I do like about Nosby. It's not fixed, and I've managed to adapt it over 5 years to a number of different jobs and roles I've done, and it still fits perfectly with my life.
Yeah, and then you actually published. I mean, it took you quite some time to actually get this over with. So how did you manage, to really pull it off and finish, this year?
Well, about 3 years ago, I think I first contacted you just to ask, would you mind if someone wrote a book about it? I'd recently read like Evernote Essentials by Brett Kelly.
Yeah,
That kind of gave me the idea. Then I thought, I wish there was something like this for Nosby when I first started using Nosby. You don't make it hard though, easy because your help pages are really good. Your videos are great. The one thing that kind of set me back was the change from the classic Nosby, the green version.
yeah.
So I was around about 80% finished of the book, and then it changed quite considerably, which was a little bit disheartening. But I managed to pick it back up again and push to the end this year.
Yeah, I mean, and now just when you finish the book, book is there. You can, people can get it. We are saying that we are actually redesigning Nosby again for Nosby 3.0.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
which is really helpful. But then you are already. I mean, your book is already updated with the newest, Nosby 2.5 and 2.6 right now. So
Yes.
your book is being updated, which is really great. But the best part is that this Christmas season, 2015, here Uncle Mike and Uncle Marcus want to give you a gift, a present for Nosby users. So this is, I think, actually the fun part because we've been thinking about how to give this book to as many people as we can so that on one hand support like people like you who are Nosby users who want write something like this and actually get something in return. So sell a book like this to our Nosby users, and on the other hand, you want to give actually to the book to as many people as we can. So we came up with this idea to actually give away the Nosby, the light version of Little Book of Nosby, which is this one,
Hey.
and we will be
That's so
giving it to every Nosby user for free. And then if they like what they read, and we will talk about the contents of the book now. I mean, then they can actually upgrade to the big book, so the book with all the tips and tricks. But I think this book is already fantastic. So for people to get to know the system and your mindset, how you work. And can you I mean just share what came into the Little Book of Nosby, the light version, and then the big version?
Yeah, well, I think every ebook needs some kind of excerpt so people can actually like see what the book's like and hopefully decide to buy it. But most of them, when you read, it's the first 10 pages, things like that, and you just look at it, and it's not very useful. Mm-hmm. So I just thought, after speaking with yourself and trying to work some out, that we'd aim for the new users. We'll go for a couple of the first chapters, doing the some parts of the Nosby basic stuff. So that will help anybody who picks up Nosby from day one. And then also one of the later chapters, the first part of that covers how my workflow works and the way that I actually approach using Nosby on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and I mean, what you included in the light version just comes beautifully aligned with what I want from people when they start using Nosby, is that, just start with the inbox, start with projects, start with the basic stuff.
Yeah.
And then you also include, I mean, as you said, your workflow, so how you work in Nosby, which is, I think, is really good, because then people can actually, see, this is the guy who's not actually a Nosby salesperson. Nosby, he's the guy who's like me, struggling to get the system right, and these are his tips and tricks. And
yes.
So what you get is the basics of Nosby and and the tips and tricks by Marcus, which I think is really valuable.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed writing it, and the way I work it is probably not going to fit everybody, but everybody's workflow is going to be slightly different. But I'm pretty confident somebody will read it and go, "That's really going to work for me."
Exactly, and then if you like what you see, and if you like the light version of the book, I really recommend getting the whole thing, because in the whole thing you also share a lot more tips and tricks. You really dive into all these details in Nosby, categories and power projects and all the other stuff, and sharing. And the thing is that at Nosby we struggled to have a simple tool, but on the other hand we have really lots of powerful features, and you uncovered most of them here in the book. So really, for somebody first starting out, the light version is great, but then I really encourage you to really support Marcus, and support people like Marcus who want to contribute, and get the big version, because then you also learn yourself. I mean, the good things about Nosby, all the hidden features that may save you lots of hours actually.
Yeah, part of the reason I wrote it was simply because I come from a support background for all my life, and helping people is something I enjoy doing, and a challenge to write a book was a good one to set myself, I think.
Yeah, and I've read the book, and it's fantastic. It's something I would want to have. I mean, like as an official manual for Nosby. So instead of creating one, we just are giving your light version for free, and then hopefully people will upgrade to the big version as well once they get the basics right. And
yeah.
I think this is right. This is something that's really important, that people don't get overwhelmed first, so they start light, and then they go deeper as they go.
Yes, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of depth to the way you can use Nosby. My personal workflows really include a lot of Evernote use, so building that in at a later date, because you don't want to overwhelm anybody right from the start, like you say. So yeah, it's a tool that keeps on growing for me. I learned things writing the book, getting feedback from other users. So it's just one of those tools that's, I think you've given me a job for life here if I keep on updating it while you keep on updating Nosby.
I hope so. So like, just to let everyone know, I mean, first of all, I think I really appreciate that you managed to really pull this off now in December, so we can really give this book to hands of as many people as we can right for Christmas. So people, when in the Christmas break, between Christmas and New Year's, they can actually, revise their goals, revise their, their ideas for 2016. They can actually take your book, and with your book, go, step by step, and, plan their year, and then the goals we want to achieve in the next year. And when they do that, they will get and when we launch Nosby 3.0 in the beginning of the year, we're looking at the February, when we celebrate our 9th anniversary of Nosby. We want to give Nosby 3.0. We will have Nosby, the little book of Nosby, the both light and the pro version, also updated for 3.0. So that's why I encourage everyone to get the book, because this also helps you out, to plan the new year.
Yeah, as long as you sort me out the early access, I'm sure I can keep up with you.
Yeah, we will, definitely. So anyone, really, thanks. Really, Marcus, thanks so much for doing this. We've had really some great news over the last, the months with Nosby users, contributing to the community. This is a great contribution. So we're giving away the light version. Thanks to Marcus, and let's get everything done in 2016 thanks to this book, and thanks to all the knowledge that's there.
That's great. Thank you, Michael. Keep on making a great product that I enjoy paying for.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you.